Hey guys, I've been wanting to make this video for a long time because I think that this is very important. I'm sure you've heard a lot of people talk about a good morning routine. And I think it's at the point where when you hear this word, it's kind of like you hear it everywhere. It's very cliche. But if you can somehow put that aside and think about, I want to tell you why this is important. Because I want you to treat it as your morning routine it's your time. Nobody can distract you, and it's really peaceful in the morning. And the earlier you can wake up, basically the more time you can have for yourself, because usually later in the day, like 7, 8, 9, people usually start waking up. People start texting you. People start emailing you, and it's distracting. And those people are probably important in your life, but distractions are one of those things where you can be so focused on a task that it's very important. Let's just say it is you building a business right now, and then your mom texts you about, who knows, taking out the trash or make a deposit or do something. Do you see how it really could ruin your life in a small way every single day? If it ruins you small every single day and it ends up being, every single day, it's going to add up. And I just don't want this to hurt you guys because I've been through it. And that's why I want to elaborate and explain why it's so important. So everybody's ideal morning routine is going to be a little bit different. But this video, I want to just kind of guide you on towards like, how did I figure it out? Right? Because one of the most important things is, set a time in the morning to kind of wake up. For me, it's not 8 or 9. Because it feels very comfortable for me. I don't need to wake up at an earlier time. And I'm able to control myself where, the distractions are gone. But for you, you might want it to be a little earlier. And anything later than like 10, 11, you can get away with it during this whole quarantine thing. Nobody's really going to stop you, I guess. But I highly encourage you guys to pick an earlier time because the morning it's a very special time. And if you can wake up even earlier before dawn, it's a very blissful feeling. But for me, I don't hit it all the time, maybe once or twice or 3 times a week. But I wanted to kind of help you guys develop your own, ideal morning routine. So the first step is pick what time. So let's just say you're going to set up a 7 a.m. time. The second thing is if you're not good at naturally waking up, which is 99% of us, then set an alarm. It's annoying, I know. The alarm is something that nobody really likes. But think of it as your future self that's already successful, telling yourself that this is something you need to do now. Because if you don't do this, instead of it taking 5 years, it's going to take you 10 years to find success. Because those little things that people underestimate, undervalue are those things that end up mattering so much. And this is one of those things, to set up a routine, to set up a structure in your life. And I do not want you to think of it as you setting up a prison for yourself, because that's not what it is. What it is you setting up a life that you want to live, that you're happy to live in. And you know why you're setting the structure up, because you want to become successful faster. And these little things like setting up a routine, a structure, setting up good habits are things that you might not feel the benefits immediately, and you won't. Not even after a week. But if you're willing to be patient over years, imagine the amount of progress you'd be making more. If you're only able to make 1 hour of progress, of productive progress every single day, it does add up to hundreds, if not thousands of hours. And if you want to quantify it with $20 an hour, $10 an hour, you can do the math. 1,000 hours would be $20,000 of value. I don't know how much you consider your time is, but sometimes quantifying it really allows you to think about it twice, right? Think about like, whoa, $20,000. Are you really at the position where you could just throw that away? Right? So an alarm is very important. And then the third thing is, when you do set that alarm, do not snooze. Because when you make a conscious decision, even though I know you're sleepy and tired, but if you press on snooze and you go back to sleep for another hour, you just kind of failed yourself. And let's just say God is watching you. I'm sure that some of you guys are not religious, and that's fine. Or let's just say a future version of yourself is looking at yourself and you're basically cheating yourself. And in the moment, you're not going to feel anything. You're not going to die. You don't suffer any consequences. And that's why a lot of people think it's okay. That's only if you're like an average person that thinks, short term, right? And I know you can't help it sometimes, but just try to at least do a little bit of this. You don't need to follow my steps step by step. You do not need to, because this is what works for me, but it doesn't have to work for you. And I want this video to kind of remind you of how important it is, but how you do it, I mean, that's the beauty of life. You get to decide. You sincerely get to decide how it's going to be, whether you want to exercise in the morning or meditate. And if you just tried meditation so many times, then don't do meditation. For me, I don't even do it that much. You really want to use it when it's important to you. For me, when I think too much, I need to calm down. I need my brain to be quiet. And that's maybe something you want to do. Maybe 4 p.m. in the middle of the day is when you're starting to feel that stress getting to you. Or you've been working for, 6-8 hours now and you feel a little drained. But also your brain is going crazy, crazy, crazy. I'm sure you've had that feeling before where your brain just goes nonstop. And that might be the perfect time for you to meditate. So I want to encourage you guys to try it out. You don't need to do it for half an hour. Try to do it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But if you tried it so many times and you know for a fact that it doesn't work for you, then don't do it. So number 3 is snooze. Number 4 is, and hopefully it's not cold over there in the morning or whenever you wake up, but try to exercise. These things I'm telling you, I'm sure you've probably heard of it before, but the value that I'm giving you on this video today is to remind you. Because maybe when your mom says it, or when your parent says it, or when someone else says it, you don't take it seriously. But if I tell you it, and it works for me, and I've found success doing it, maybe you want to try it out. You don't need to copy everything I do. Just copy some of it. Where you're like, okay, Richard, I fuck with you in that mindset and that strategy. I'm going to try it out. I'm going to take it. And I'm giving all that to you guys, and so then you guys can take it. But I really want you guys to, again, number 4 is exercise in the morning. Because if you're moving around, physically speaking, and if you're fat, then start doing about walking. A little bit. Because if you move around, guess what? We're humans, we're animals, so blood flows. And when blood flows, it goes up to your brain. You start thinking a lot more logically. You think a lot more effectively. Because if you just wake up, roll out of bed, check your phone, and then go to your desk and work, visualize that for a second. Do you see how that's a little bit worse? I'm trying to be nice here. It's so much more worse than if you were to do this, right? And exercising also, you could look up the benefits, but the benefits that I feel are more energy. And energy is that one thing that I do want to talk about in another video, but briefly speaking, because this is very important, energy is something where it's also very subjective. Some people have tricked themselves in their brain where they're like, I only have 8 hours of energy every single day. And once I finish that, I have to play video games and I'm done for the day, and you're lazy. And that's cool. I feel like some people are like that. But some people even believe they only have 4 hours of energy. But whatever you believe that is, exercising allows you to have more energy. And energy is what produces results, and results can be money. So let's use money as an example, as a measurable tool. So basically what that means is when you exercise, you're actually making more money. Energy is that one thing where you can't really buy. And I wish I had double the amount of energy I had every single day, because that leads to me producing better results, more progress, more money, more happiness, or just more of whatever you want. And I want you to just take a few minutes after this video and think about, what is it that you want? And I don't want to be that influencer that shames you for what you want. So if you want that car, if you want that Lamborghini, go for it. Because if every single time you think about that Lamborghini, it excites you, I think that's a beautiful thing. But if you're not really into that, before I really was into it and it gave me a lot of energy when I thought about it, maybe over time you don't care about that anymore. Maybe for you it's when you have more energy for your family, your kids, maybe your girlfriend. There always has to be something you care about. And this life, and God has given you 80 years, 100 years, maybe a little bit more if you're lucky to live on this planet. And this is your chance to get what you want out of this lifetime. And if you don't get what you want, the only person you can really blame is yourself, unfortunately. Because, Richard is reminding you of the things that you should be doing, but you're not doing it because you're lazy, because it's too much effort, because you're comfortable, because your parents left you a little bit of money. So even if you fail, it doesn't really matter. You see how all those things kind of have problems? And I'm just trying to guess what your thing is. And to be honest with you, that's why I think about doing coaching sometimes, because if I'm truly trying to help someone out and give them customized help, that's the only way to really do it. But this YouTube video, I do want to release it, and I do want to release more videos for free. And I don't really get paid much from YouTube. I get paid maybe $100 to $200 a month, and that's not what's important for me. For me is I do these YouTube videos because I feel good about it. Like, it's that one thing that I do that nothing compares. For me to share what's worked for me is kind of like me helping out the world in my own way. I guess I know it sounds really weird, and I know that you probably can't relate because you haven't really reached my position yet. So given the phases, so sometimes you might wonder, like, Richard, you're out of your mind. Why do you think like that? And I just want to explain that real quickly because, I'm posting these videos to truthfully help you guys. If I'm trying to help myself, then I would be continuing running my businesses. And my businesses are taking care of me. And most of my businesses, fortunately, but also unfortunately, is automated. So I don't have to spend much time on it. So I have time to produce YouTube videos, to focus on myself. Anyways, I don't want to talk too much about myself on this video. I hope you guys got some value of it. I kept this video very simple. It's just 4 steps. And these 4 steps, come back to me in 1 year. Come back to me in a few months. If you truthfully do all 4 of these things, I know for a fact that's going to make a measurable difference in your life. But if you don't do it, unfortunately, it's your life that loses what you could have gained. You could have gained a little bit more money, a little bit more energy, a little bit more happiness in life. Maybe even that car you wanted because you put in that hard work. So hopefully this video has helped you out. I'm very happy making these videos, and hopefully you guys have an amazing day. Leave me down. If you guys can do me a favor and leave a like on this video. And real quick, I've signed up for Webull. So I know a lot of you guys don't have too much money. So if you guys have $100, you guys can do this. So what you can do is you deposit $100 and they'll give you 2 free stocks. For me, I got a $10 stock and I got an $18 stock. For you, it might be different. So I've seen people that have $800 stocks, but keep in mind that that's pretty rare. But think of this as just free money. whether you want to use this money to hire graphic designers or, free money is free money. So if you're willing to take, 15 minutes to kind of do it, I do benefit as well because I also get one free stock as well. But if you want to do it, awesome. That does help me out. And then please comment down below, what video can I make to help you out? And if this video does help you out, if you could just say thank you in the comments, that'd be awesome. But again, thank you so much for your time, and I'm more than glad to make more of these amazing videos, and I'll see you guys next time.